I am Janna, and my story begins in the land of Bengal, India, where my life was simple, where I spoke my native tongue and felt the comfort of familiarity. I was just a girl of 12 when fate took a cruel turn. The ship that brought me to the Cape Colony was heavy with strangers, and among them was a man named Andres Ross. He claimed to adopt me as his child, though I now see how hollow those words were. At first, I stayed with him at a place owned by Mrs. Berg. It was strange but bearable. I clung to the hope that I was not alone, that he meant to keep his promise to care for me. But then, without warning, Ross departed for Holland, leaving me behind with only a vague promise to return. He never came back. I found myself at Mr. Van Balen's house next. He was an officer at the Cape Castle, a man whose home should have been a refuge. But that hope, too, was snatched away. I didn't speak their language, Dutch, and my Bengali words fell into silence. Without the ability to defend myself, I was moved again, this time to Mr. Herzog's house in Breed Street, Cape Town. At first, I was just a girl in his home. But slowly, that changed. The kindness I clung to disappeared, replaced by orders and hard labor. His wife decided I was property, not a person. I learned later that she registered me as her slave in the slave registers. My freedom, my humanity, was stolen in the blink of an eye, with ink on paper. I was at the mercy of strangers, people who didn't know me or care to understand the life I had before. They decided my fate as easily as one might turn a page in a book. It was not fair, but fairness was a luxury I could no longer afford to expect. One day, the slave Domingo, who had served the late Mr. Johannes Matthias Herzog, came to speak on my behalf. He said he had heard his master once say I was not a slave, back when I lived at Mrs. Berger's house. His words gave me hope. But hope is a fragile thing in a world where legality could be ignored without consequence. Being an outsider, a girl from Bengal who spoke only Bengali, was a curse in this place. Language is a bridge, a way to connect and defend oneself, and I had none of it. Without the ability to speak their words, I was voiceless. They could label me as they pleased, and I had no way to fight back. The Cape Colony was a strange land, filled with people from countless places, all forced to learn the language of their masters if they wished to survive. But I was only a child, and the weight of it all was unbearable. My story is not just mine, it is the story of so many who were taken from their homes and thrust into a life where their voice did not matter during the Cape colonial era in South Africa.